You know, when things are really tough and really uncertain, it's hard to know what to do. But if you're someone that is a creative, one of the best things I can recommend is to go out and make some art. Instead of having my live stream that was supposed to be up today at noon, here's a video of me going out in the field and making some art with one of my favorite but rare types of film, some FG infrared. If you've never shot infrared before, it's a specialty film that sees beyond the standard spectrum that we can see, that panchromatic spectrum. This stuff just sees, or it's especially sensitized to infrared radiation. What you have to do to get the effect of infrared is filter out most of the spectrum that we can see and into those deep reds. This usually requires long exposures, a long amount of time on the tripod, and quite a bit of patience, but I think it's kind of worth it, and the effect is so neat. So check it out, and we'll see you next time for more LFF. This is a location I discovered about 6 months ago here in Columbus. I'm actually in downtown Franklinton, one of the older parts of Columbus, somewhat on the west end of downtown, and there's this really old cemetery in Old Franklinton, and it's just peaceful and quiet. And I visited here in the winter, but I haven't visited yet, and the foliage is awesome. You can get a little bit of the downtown skyline with the skyscrapers, and cemeteries in infrared, I don't think it's creepy, I just think it's peaceful, and it lends itself very well to a long process with long exposure. So I'm gonna go pop the camera up on the tripod here and compose a shot. Probably gonna use the wide angle lens again. It just lends itself really well to getting as much in the scene as possible. I'm probably gonna start it with a 250, so not super wide, but still wider than normal, just to see what we can get. Get this tilted back, bring my bed forward, and get this thing ready for the 250. About there should be good. All right. Ground glass cover off, dark cloth on. You know, I'm surprised this Fuji 250 doesn't get more love. It's such a cost-effective lens. Most 8x10 lenses you can't get for less than $1 to $2 a millimeter, and this usually comes in right there, right about $1 a millimeter. You can find these used from about $250 to $350. And they're such nice lenses. The contrast coming out of them is a little flat, but that's nothing we can't fix with a heavier filter in the darkroom. All right, lens is already open. Let's start our composition here. I moved the bed up a little further than I needed to, so I'm gonna pull it back right there. Yeah, I'm gonna pull the bed back a little bit more, move it back to this 10 centimeter mark. There we go. All right, composition-wise, I kind of like where I'm at. I want to get more of that primary tree, and now I also chose this lens because I can get a little bit more front rise out of it. Helpful. Another thing that I love about this location is it kind of feels like that the rest of Columbus, the whole world kind of kept moving, and this portion of it just stopped. Kind of froze in place. So all this city and urban development behind me, to every corner it's industrialized and it's 21st century. And just right here, it's peaceful and kind of stuck in the early 1800s where this is from. So some of the graves in here date from the late 1700s to the early 1800s. And it's peaceful and protected, and the light is right for some infrared. So kind of same as I was doing before. I'm just gonna place my meter ISO 200, place my filter over it, approximate near some shadows, and take some readings. I'm also going to take a sky reading to see what my dynamic range is, and I'm getting a pretty standard contrast scene. I'm going to find my absolute darkest shadow area, and I'm ranging from about f16 to about f45, so a pretty standard contrast range. I'm going to be, yeah, about, let's see, 2 seconds at 11.5 is where I'm going to be for this. Get that filter on. If I tried to compose with my R72 filter on, I would have a very difficult time There's just not much there. Okay, close up. Okay. All right, now I need to lock down everything. Good. All right, 2 shots to go. Here's the first one of 2. Everything's locked down, everything's closed up. Good. Ready, and. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. Great.